Yeah, thanks for having me, fellas.
Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate you reaching out.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Oh man, thank you for having me, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm doing good. How are you?
It's my pleasure, man. This will be fun. I'm happy to talk to you guys. Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to be on the show. Be a fan of Moneyball now forever.
Awesome.
Love
Awesome.
it.
Hey, what's up, Moneyball family? I have with me UB's all-time leading scorer. I got Mr. Javon McCrea. Welcome to the show. How you feeling today? How you doing?
Hey, well, hey, feeling great. I actually just got done working out this morning, so pretty tired.
You're feeling like you maybe put your body through some stress this morning, man. You're feeling a little beat up.
Yeah, man, did some little sprint, little conditioning and stuff. And
I called this man yesterday and texted him, and I asked, I said, hey man, you want to get down with the show? And he said, yeah, and he was real cool about it. He said, but he'll be in the gym. And I can tell you this much from his performance Saturday night that I saw in watching the Buffalo Extreme game. I mean, this guy was an absolute savage. I'll tell you what, you dominated that game, man. Congratulations on your play with that. I mean, let's just start right and dive right in, man. You're UB's all-time leading scorer. You know, we've had some very, very good collegiate athletes come through UB. You know, CJ amongst others, but there's been a ton throughout the years. I know I think you had Reggie the first 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then your last year, you had Hurley. Tell me real quick a little bit what it was like, that transition, and how it was to play for, you know, one of the best collegiate athletes, I think, ever to play in Hurley.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Weatherspoon was a great coach, and the transition was rocky at first. Like it was like everyone had to let it settle in because Spoon was at UB so long. It was nobody ever expected him to leave. But when he did leave, and then that was shocking. And then they brought in Bobby Hurley. Everyone was shocked because he had so much history at Duke. It was kind of like out of body experience to see him out as coach. Like it was crazy. So when he got there, when Hurley first got there, all the guys wanted to work as hard as possible. Like he didn't want to let them down.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I bet that was a little bit of pressure, right?
yeah, because it was we know he won a championship at Duke. We know he went to the Sacramento Kings, and we know he's had history coaching already with his brother Dan.
Yep.
So we knew he had history. So we just knew we were destined for greatness.
That was one of those things that even for the city of Buffalo, when we heard that Hurley was going to be coaching UB, it was like, wait, really? You know, we had to kind of check it, be like, wait, Hurley, right? From Duke? You know, we had to do a double thing.
Yeah, because we had to do AD. Danny White was our new AD instead of Herb Manuel. So then seeing Hurley come in, like, man, UB is doing new things.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. And you had another great season that year. So, I mean, I'm sure you certainly did not let him down. You know, I got to ask you, man, I've seen you play. I saw you play back, you know, at UB. I'm 45 years old. I was watching you play back then. What do you think? Why do you think you never got a real shot here? I know you did some summer league stuff, right? I think the 76ers and somebody else. I mean, I've seen, you know, ballers, I've seen live NBA, and let me tell you, I put your game right up there. I mean, is there a reason you think that maybe, you know, that you never really got your true opportunity?
I didn't really. It was a process. I didn't feel like going through it. You know, in order to get there, and being going at least the route I would have had to play in G League a couple seasons, and financially, I just wanted to go overseas and make some money overseas. Yeah, I was. I mean, I believe. I mean, I probably could have been playing the NBA, but it was just the process for me. I just wanted at that point, instead of playing in the G League those years I got offered to play, I just rather played overseas. And I went to France one year, Israel another year, and Germany. Yeah, I enjoyed my time out there, like playing against different competition. And now Europe has grown; the market is even bigger now. So it's kind of like a lot of NBA guys are going over there in Europe now.
I saw that. I mean, and I think that you know, may have been a pioneer really with that, because there was, you know what I'm saying? Like now, you don't necessarily have to take the path of NBA. You know, it's like, okay, there's other options, and you can make, in some cases, more money. It's almost like with that golf, you know, how there's an option now to go play in that other golf league. It's almost like that with going overseas with the basketball.
Yeah.
And your numbers were great over there, man. I mean, you know, I looked, you're averaging 16, 17, and 10. Like, you were really playing great ball over there at the time. It was just surprising to me that an NBA team didn't take a peek and see what they potentially had over there and say, hey, we want McCrea. You know what I mean? That to me was surprising.
And I had worked out, and that's what I was, and I had worked out with about 17 NBA teams before I got drafted, like before I got the draft process. So they knew, and I was shocked. Like, even Brad Stevens, those guys knew who I was. Everyone knew me. So like, when they got to the point, I think that I think me and the both NBA both knew that my path, well, I was overseas, like my body type, playing a 6'6" post player, I was just better suited for overseas. You know, and that's why I tell a lot of guys, like, and even when I tell like a lot of guys around here too, hey, if you get a St. John Fisher or a Nazareth, maybe take that. You don't always have to go to the big school. You don't have to go to Syracuse if you're not getting the play time you want. I like playing. I wanted to play as many minutes as possible, and me playing those 4 or 5 minutes those couple of years would hurt my development.
I love that answer. I absolutely love that answer. I really do. I think, you know, you wanted to play basketball. You know, it wasn't about, hey, I don't want to come off the bench for 4 or 5 minutes. You wanted to play basketball. You wanted to make an impact. I really love that answer. And, you know, I have heard that in the past, you know, a little bit about, if this guy was 6'8", you know, it would have been a no-brainer. You know, and maybe that's the case, whatever. But, you know, I don't know personally. Like I said, man, my opinion, all day. You know, I think you were that caliber all day. But again, no regrets, because you took an amazing path and you excelled and you did awesome. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the same things with UB. I had a Georgetown offer, I had a UMass offer, and I had a UB offer, and I had a Boston University offer coming out of high school.
Okay.
I picked UB because it was just, I knew I was going to play the minutes.
Yep.
And I just wanted to make an impact and make a legacy somewhere.
Yep.
So
and let's not get it twisted, man. You could still go get mom's home cooking.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be around my mom, man. I want to be around my mom.
Which, by the way, I'm sorry to hear about your loss, man.
Yeah, I'm sad. It's man, and I'm growing into it. I'm starting to understand.
Yeah.
You know, some of the things that she wanted. So
yeah.
I'm not too sad about it. I'm not sad about it anymore. I'm accepted it.
Yeah, good. So, you know, diving into the next thing here, Israel. You played in Israel, you know, and obviously everything that's going on over there. Not to bring up politics, really, but how was your experience over in Israel? How was the fan base? What was your experience like playing over in Israel?
In Israel, it was just like, it was eye-opening. Like I went through a lot of mental tests over there, because people, like, a lot of guys don't understand being in a different country is you don't know anyone. So that those basic needs you have, like, that you grow up with, you know, when you're in Israel and you're in other countries, you go through it a little bit. But the basketball experience was great. I played against Amari Stoudemire.
Okay.
I played against a couple other NBA guys, you know, that were out there too. Joe Jackson was out there. And a couple other big names out there too. And the style of play is like America. It's just like America.
Yeah. So
I'm having a lot of fun, but the only thing that was tough was the competition was high level of competition.
Yeah.
You had to bring it alive.
How was the nightlife? Are you a party guy? Were you back then?
Yeah, I've always been a guy that likes the nightlife. I calm down here and there. Like, maybe not before game day. But after the game, we always go out to the clubs, and Tel Aviv was nice, man.
Yeah.
They had those beaches, man. You cannot lose with that.
Yeah, I heard some good things about it over there, man. And you know, nice looking Israeli women, right?
Yeah, man. Some beautiful women, long, tall, like. Then they pay well too. Like, it was great.
Yeah. I mean, and that goes back to the no regrets part of it. You know, people are like, oh man. It's funny to me, man. People's perception. It's almost like, oh, the poor guy. You know, he didn't make NBA. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just you, Javon. It's not just you. There's a laundry list. But I laugh at it. It's a choice. And you got to go
Thank you.
see the world, bro. You know, you got to go see the world. You didn't get stuck. You know, you weren't in Portland, Oregon playing for the Trailblazers. You got to go see the
Yeah.
world.
I got to see France,
Yeah.
Israel, Germany, Spain, all these places I've been able to travel and play basketball games at. Japan, and it's the experience I brought with me. It's the learning new cultures and bringing it back here to understand why I love America and why I love New York.
I love that too, man. I really do. I like your attitude with everything. You know, you're just very, very positive, and you seem very grateful for everything that you have in your life.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Buffalo Extreme. Let's move into that. I mean, I know this club. You know, I met the owner the other night, and I got real involved. And I'll be honest, that was the first time I was there, and I was hyped. I mean, the MC does a great job. Everything right down to the play of the basketball. It was a 10 out of 10, man. It was a great experience. How did that come about? Where they found you, or you found them, or what happened?
Oh, and yeah, I love Buffalo Extreme. But I was talking with Coach Weatherspoon and Coach Quitchoff, my ex UB coaches, and we always meet here and there. I was meeting with them, and they had actually seen Coach Rich Jacob seen me scrimmaging with the Canisius team in like September, and he told me about this new team, Buffalo Extreme. I had already thought about playing ABA and hopping in ABA this season to get warmed up anyway with Upstate Trojans. So
Okay.
then once I seen Buffalo Extreme doing so, I said, and they're just like a really professional team. So once I seen that, Darren Finn and they showed me like a lot of the stuff with Action Elite, it was a no brainer.
Yeah,
it was no brainer.
it was really good basketball. Again, I asked you after the game how many points you had. You said, I don't know, we won, but I think you had about 50.
Yeah, it felt like it, right?
Yeah, you're gonna break Chamberlain's record, I think, this year with the Extreme. So what are the for people who don't?
What's up, Moneyball family? I'm here to tell you about Smash Burgers from Buffalo Bros Burgers. Going to be opening a storefront in the village of Hamburg, and in the meantime, you can find them on the website wherever they're going to be in town. You're going to want to turn up and show out because they have some delicious burgers. Smash Burger is a couple of burgers smashed on a bun with some cheese dripping down. You hungry yet? Check out the Smash Burger from Buffalo Bros Burgers, man. It's good stuff.
Don't know the rules or anything about the ABA. What are the main differences? Because to me it was 12 or 4 12-minute quarters, right? I saw a red light come on at the end. I didn't know what that was. Tell me what some of the differences are.
Yeah, so half court shot is 4 points. And if you're in the back court, like bringing the ball up to the front court and you turn it over, if that team scores, they get an extra point. So yeah, it's just weird like that. Like,
it's got to be hard to keep track of it, right?
Yeah, I barely can keep track sometimes. Like I look, maybe be up 15. I look back, we up 4. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, what happened? Dude, it was
Well,
funny because at the end of the game, I was sitting right at the sidelines. I think you guys were up by like 6 points, and there was some fan there, and he was talking to the owner. And I apologize. Who's the real big guy? The owner?
Darren Finn.
Yeah, right. So he's talking to him, and he was telling him the rules, and he said, "Hey, make sure you guys come up and guard them at the half court, because if they drain a half court, they're only down by 2." And he looked over and he goes, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
So
right.
even
Like
he,
that really.
even
it's
he
like
needed to be reminded, man. It was wild. It was wild.
You know what was going? Yeah.
Hey Lincoln, which spot in Buffalo has the best place?
Yeah,
Emma.
Call a lot though. To me, like I saw like they didn't
Elbows?
call a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, it can call a lot more.
Right? I mean,
It's
they were
a physical
hacking you
play.
pretty good, man, and they were hacking a few people.
They let it do it to us every game because we're
Yeah.
one of the best teams in the league, and then we came out as and that's what Buffalo has such a good fan base and such a good organization and sports wise, like all that. I just love the city that people know we're coming.
Yeah.
So when they see us, they just try to make it a little bit harder on us. We came out of the gates ranked 4th. People don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So when you travel to these other, like say you go to Syracuse for upstate, or say you go to New York or wherever it is it the same type of arenas, or are they playing in bigger facilities, or is it kind of the same vibe, or what are your thoughts there?
No, in Rochester, we got Roberts Wesleyan was pretty nice, and but in Syracuse, it's another community center, and Binghamton is kind of like ours, like and also in Albany. So in Albany, and Binghamton, and in New Hampshire, they're all kind of like are the same facility, where it's the hard ground and it's a sports complex basically.
Well, you heard it here first. I'm telling you right now, within the next 2 years, this ABA is going to blow up in Buffalo. Like,
I believe.
dude, we've been jonesing for a basketball team since the Braves left, right? And like, you know, for anyone who's a basketball fan, like the guy, I brought my kids and I brought a real good friend of mine, and he was like, yeah, man, he goes, any good basketball I want to watch. And I think that's a lot of people in Buffalo want to watch good basketball. You know what I mean?
Seriously.
And
Seriously.
this is so for the 500 or 1,000 lucky people that were there, I guarantee you they're going to have to move facilities within the next year or two. They're going to have to go to a bigger spot because, you know, it's intimate now and it's cool. You can have the floor seats and the VIP and all that, but it's just not going to be big enough. Everything that was done, like I said, right down to the MC, to the music was on point, to everything about it. You know, I mean, maybe they could offer a couple more, you know, the mozzarella sticks. They could maybe offer a couple more food options. But seriously, other than that, it was great. And you know, I've been telling everybody I know, I'm like, yo, you got to get to one of these games. And I want to see it next time. I want to see it where there's like standing room, you know, where people it's selling out and don't even know where to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you want to see that growth with it. And I understand that's like part of life. And that's what I'm saying too. Like pretty soon they talk about being a TBL team. It's gonna grow, you know.
Yeah, there's no question.
Yeah.
Well, you are kind of not kind of. You are, you know, the poster for that team. You know, you're kind of a Buffalo legend, man. And I know you're humble, and you might not want to hear that or not, you know, but you are, and you kind of got to accept that role, you know.
Yeah.
And I think you have. After the game, people coming up to you asking for autographs. It's really cool how they have kids come out and you guys are signing for them and everything. That's more of the vibe I really enjoyed. It's very, very family oriented. You know, you don't have to pay $50 to get in. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So they just keep everything chill, and you're going to be that guy. Like right now, it's already people want to go out to see Javon McCrea. You know, so. Wow. I don't even know if you know that, but that's the way it is right now. I mean, I'm telling you, from everybody that was at that game, you're kind of the big ticket, man. And what do they call you? The big dog?
Big dog. Big dog.
Oh, right. They were playing DX in there and everything.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it, man. I really am. I have one of your teammates is going to come on tomorrow, and I'm going to chat with him about the same thing. And I want his opinion on you. And I guarantee you this guy's like, yep, he's the dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love that, man. I love that guy. He is great, man.
He seems like just a rock solid human being, you know.
Yeah, humble too.
Yeah,
there's
certain cats, you know, that I want on the show, you know, and it's not. I'm not a fanboy, and I'm not somebody who's like, yo, give me whoever you got. You know, this is a channel that's going to blow up like the ABA is. Trust me when I tell you that. And I want certain people on, you know. And this attitude you have and the way John speaks and stuff, these are my people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're almost out of time and it flies by because I have a new format for 2024. I want people to listen to this show on their way to work. You know, last year it was like 35, 40 minutes. I think one of them went like an hour and a half. People were like, bro, it's just too long. So I am, you know, going with a 15, 20-minute format. But I want to ask you lastly, and I thank you so much for coming on. I want to ask you lastly, what advice do you have for kids anywhere from ages, you know, 5 years old who love basketball all the way up to high schoolers and college? What advice do you have for kids about sticking to your routine and striving and hitting all the goals that they want?
And that's great you say routine, because I like to tell the guys, because I work with, it's consistency, guys. And you're gonna outwork people. And most times you got to probably do some of the things that other kids won't do in order to get your, like, for instance, out 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm running, you know. Wow. I'm doing extra sprints after practice. I'm shooting 1,000 shots.
Wow.
And I know it probably sounds crazy for kids, but that's some of the things that's gonna put you over the top if you want to make it. Now I also realize that sometimes, like, you don't always have to be. You don't got to be the LeBron James. Just be your version of LeBron James. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And that's enough. That's what I want to tell kids. Your effort is enough.
I think that advice is enormous. You know, I think that's in any sport, people try to do too much or they try to base their game and their performance off somebody that they're not. That's a great point.
Yeah.
And everybody's body's different, man, you know, and everybody's built different. A lot of it, Javon, you know, is genetics, you know?
Yes.
But I think that's awesome advice, man. I really do. I cannot thank you enough for coming on, everybody. Javon McCrea, a gentleman for sure. You're going to be hearing the name. You're going to be seeing Buffalo Extreme all over the place, and it's coming. If you don't know about it, it's coming for you. So thank you so much for taking the time, bro.
I appreciate it, man. I love to have it. I love to do it again, man. Let me know. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man. We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Hey Lincoln, which spot in Buffalo has the best wings? Elmo.
Elmos?
Yeah.
Okay.